Services.com.
Skip and Sharon, hosts of the Psychic Spectrum radio show, are a prominent psychic couple. Besides hosting an exciting weekly radio show, they offer fans the Psychic Showcase and a fascinating speakers bureau. And their Talking to the Other Side events are not to be missed. Join their live events and even schedule a private psychic reading. Get started at psychicspectrum.com. That's psychicspectrum.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
I'm Nathan Mumm, and I'm the host of TechTime Radio. TechTime Radio is officially on KKNW from Saturdays from 4 to 5 p.m. You can listen to our show live. We are excited to also then rebroadcast our episodes on Thursday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. The hosts cover top tech stories with a funny spin.
That's good. So, Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
It did, just a little bit. Grab your weekly technology without having to geek out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We talk technology for the everyday common person.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
That's right. So that makes you go, How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is our TechTime Radio. If you haven't listened to our show before.
You got that? That's a mouthful.
I got that. Our original air date is for December 5th, 2020 through December 11th, 2020. And I am Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Orday, and we got...
what episode is this?
We're not saying the episodes anymore, so we're now just going to do original air dates, but this is episode 25.
There we go.
So this is our big one.
This
was our big one that we had on the little chart that said we wanted to make sure we got to and then could review.
Woohoo!
So welcome to our live stream if you're watching us in studio. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, you can always listen to us on the home of our radio at 1150kknw.com. Our show is a weekly hour-long technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format that gives you information without having to geek out. The show is for the common person, and we provide you with top technology news for the week along with segments that bring you different perspectives and highlighted guests. Today on the main segment, we are covering our top 5 technologies for the holiday. This is part 3, and we are going to be talking about smart devices. So if you have a smart device question, those are kind of like the Nest devices, and we're going to go through it. In the technology world, we call it IoT.
Internet of Things, right?
That's correct, and we're going to explain what that is a little bit, so make sure.
Because you got in trouble for that last week.
I did. Somebody got in trouble and said, hey, you need to explain that. So we will be explaining what that is, but we're going to be talking about that. If you have any question, make sure you get online right now and ask us, and we will absolutely answer that as quick as possible. But before we do that, we also want to remind people that we gave away last week a Pulse device from Vivomi, and we got 2 more to give away. So make sure you go to techtimeradio.com and click on our fan list and put your email address, and I will make sure not to say it on the air next time.
Very good.
So I said the person's email address twice, which was horrible. So I had to go back to post-edit it and make sure I removed it out of that. But... we also have, of course, our whiskey, and we're going to be talking about the Pendleton 1910 that we're going to be sipping. And before we start our show, we always go to our loaded question of the day. So, Mike.
Loaded questions.
Here is your loaded question of the day.
What's my loaded question?
What is a sure sign someone is lying? Oh, see, this is right up your alley, Mr. Psychology guys.
Their lips are moving?
Their lips are moving. Oh, no.
Oh.
Hopefully something other than that.
Yeah. Okay, so there is no sure sign that somebody is lying.
Really?
No.
Well, I watched the Lie to Me deal, and then that guy could always detect and tell who was lying.
Yeah, that's a show.
That's a TV
So
show.
we have things that make us think that people are lying, like shifty eyes and things like that. That's a myth. Those are myths.
Okay.
People do have what you would call a tell
Yeah.
if they're lying, but that's specific to that person. There's no one thing that if somebody does it, that means they're lying. So it's if you look down and to the right, or look up to the left or whatever, that's
not really memory recall, and it makes it that you're being honest.
It's accessing. It's an accessing cue, but it doesn't mean that somebody is lying.
All right. Whenever my wife asks me something, I always make sure to look up to the left. I just know this.
Yeah,
How you doing today?
Yeah,
Great. I'm doing fantastic.
There is some studies that have done that said that people who are lying will make longer eye contact with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that they can see if their lie is being believed. But that in and of itself doesn't indicate a lie. Lies are a lot more difficult to detect
Than
most of the time than just saying, "Oh, well, if they do this with their eyeballs, that's a lie."
Okay. Well, that is our question of the day to
That
kick
was a
off
good. I like that one.
You like that question?
Let's do that one next week.
No, you can't. No, they're all different.
Damn it.
No. We got to do a bunch of different stuff. All right, so here we go. We are going to get our top stories immediately out of the box. So if we can play our top stories in 5 minutes, we're going to get right to that.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right, story number 1, big news. Warner Brothers films will open in cinemas and on HBO Max the same day. Here we go. This is an interesting story.
There it is.
This is kicking off. So we finally have a direct-to-consumer model for movie studios.
Uh-huh.
This is what people have been asking for 10, 15 years now, of having the ability to watch a movie release at home in your couch the same day it's available in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
HBO and Warner Brothers have created a unique opportunity to have the movie theaters be removed from the equation, and if you have a subscription to HBO Max without any additional payments, you will be able to get the same releases that Warner Brothers will release to the cinemas. So this is one of Hollywood's biggest concerns to happen, and Warner Brothers is the first studio to do this. And there's rumors that are talking that there could be other studios that follow suit.
Yeah, everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon.
So you got Universal Studios, and their big streaming network is that new Peacock network, right? Mm-hmm. So you could see them maybe doing that. Disney releases a bunch of stuff. They've had it.
Well, Disney was the first one.
So, yes.
Right, with Mulan.
Mulan, but they still made you had to pay an additional charge. It wasn't free for the subscription. So this is the first one that's going to be completely free.
Okay.
So each movie will run on an HBO Max streaming platform the same time that it will be running in the theaters. So we're going to go through all the movies that are coming on out here, but our first movie to do this is going to be Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So very interesting that all of a sudden HBO has had a huge special. HBO Max has had a huge special for 3 months free if you come on in, and they have decided to remove that completely, and now their subscription services are full pay to play.
Oh, okay. They went to they're like, meh.
Yeah, I said, forget that. There's no more deals anymore. So if you want to be with HBO Max after we just got this Warner Brothers news.
Henry Ford.
That's right.
You can have whatever color you want as long as it's black.
So, all right. The theater operators have suggested it's better to get new movies out under less favorable terms than it is for them not to enjoy it. A juicy ticket sales from previous theaters would allow the movie theater to make direct sales, and the theater would have to purchase the rights to broadcast. So theaters, independent theaters, major theaters would pay the studio to have the film come in, and then they would receive a portion of the ticket sale. So that's how they used to do it. So now they do not have that. Universal Studios, a unit of Comcast Corporation, also formed an alliance with 3 large movie chains to collapse the time between the film's premiere in theaters and when it could be sold to online audiences for $20. Previously, the studio had waited more than 2 months, and now it will only wait 17 days. So Universal is already saying 17 days after it hits the theater, you can then go to Premium Premiere and rent it or rent to own for $20 a pop. So Jason Killar, Warner Media CEO, said the important thing is to get the movies out in front of the audience and to make sure that our content is extremely valuable. We want to enhance the HBO Max experience, creating value for all.
Yeah, so you kind of think that this is going to kill the movie theater.
So I think that this is going to put a huge dent into it. And I think the home theater installation companies and the home theaters at home are just going to bust out. If I wanted to start a company right now,
$15,000
projector. You get a $15,000 projector. You get your screen set up. You get some nice leather chairs in there. And if you can watch the same movies on that Dolby Atmos theater sound at home, which they have now available, I think this could be a end to how we used to go to movies.
Okay.
Because the audience above 65 years old normally never go to movie theater. So it's really an interesting demographic. If you look, the people that go to theaters are normally 50 down to 18 is kind of the demographic for theaters. And then when people get older, by default, they normally don't go to theaters. Now this audience is going to be able to have that at their fingertips and be able to watch those movies. So let's talk about the movies that are coming out. Well, how do you feel? How
about I just save that for Mike's mesmerizing moment?
Okay. I know that we had a nice elevator discussion on up as we come up to the production crew. We always talk about what we're going to be doing leading into the show, and we had a very nice discussion and a little bit of arguing. So here's what we got coming on out. December 25th.
Fisticuffs. No.
We did. They had to pull us out of the... No. But we were still 6 feet away. So, all right. Wonder Woman.
Made it hard. Shadow boxing.
That's right. 1984, December 25th. Mortal Kombat's coming out January 15th. The Little Things, January 29th. Tom and Jerry had no clue that this was even coming on out.
I didn't know half of these were coming out.
March 5th. Oh, that's all right. We'll finish our story. Godzilla and King Kong comes on out May 21st. We have The Heights coming out June 18th. Space Jam: A New Legacy. There you go. I love Space Jam. Michael Jam. Space Jam.
This has got LeBron James.
It's got LeBron, July 16th. The Suicide Squad released for August 6th. So they got a packed release that are coming on out. And we didn't even get to story number 2. Maybe if we have time, we'll get back to it because it's all about HP's Free Ink for Life plan.
Oh yeah, the one that Free Ink for Life that was only not for life.
So we'll go very quickly. Here we go.
Okay,
here we go.
Do it.
HP turns out the Free Ink for Life plan that was actually for life, that has been out for 2 years. If you notice, Shaquille O'Neal came on out and did the ads for it, said you'd never have to pay for ink. You'll always be able to print for free if you buy these printers. HP recently informed Instant Ink plan owners that it was just a 3-year deal, and they are now ending the Free Ink for Life so that it's no longer free as of Friday. So yesterday they just told everybody in an email, guess what?
You don't. Yeah.
Your ink is no longer free. It's no longer unlimited, and users are allowed to print 15 pages per month for 99 cents a month.
That really sucks because
I could not even do show.
Your freaking show notes are over 20 pages.
I know. So if I did that, I'd be like $40 for my free ink printer.
I know.
So what is going to happen is landfills will be filled soon with a whole bunch of these free ink HP printers because it's not worth keeping any of these plans when you can go down to your local Best Buy and buy a brand new HP printer for $69 to $99 and not have to worry about free ink.
Everybody's trying to get onto subscription services. So
HP decided to do that. So that is our time. We do need to hit to a commercial break. So after we come back from the break, we have
some whiskey.
We got some Protect Yourself today. We got some whiskey, and we got a packed show today. So we'll see you after the commercial break.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data right at your fingertips and with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. The new Pulse device from Vivome continuously tracks your EKG and displays this data on your mobile phone. Have you ever wondered how your EKG and heart rate behaves when you're exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or just getting the kids ready for school or relaxing at home? Now it is easy to check by simply opening the Pulse app. The Pulse device is sleek and low profile and designed to be worn without any straps or wires, and is also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower or take it swimming. For those serious athletes out there, the Pulse device also plays nicely with existing exercise tracking apps and is Bluetooth enabled for easy pairing. You can free yourself from those outdated strap-based heart rate monitors. The Pulse is a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivome.com and ordering your device today.
Hi, Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, the show that takes a positive, forward-looking approach to mid to late career transitions for Gen Xers and Boomers every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific. Whether you're looking to stay in the traditional workforce, do your own thing, or retire or semi-retire, Reigniting You is your source for career transition advice, inspiration, and insight for what's next in your career and life. Join me Wednesdays at 3 o'clock to get re-energized, recharged, and reignited.
New Advil Dual Action with acetaminophen fights pain in 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source, while acetaminophen blocks pain signals. The future of pain relief is here. New Advil Dual Action.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. Do you know what this music's from? I just watched this movie last night. Do you know what this is from?
Big River?
No. It's a Billy Crystal movie.
Oh, no way.
Well, yeah. Do you know which one it is? City Slickers.
City Slickers.
That's correct. Yeah. So I was sitting there listening to the music. It's one of my top 10 comedies, and I watched it last night, and I was like, this has got just a great tune as it just plays through. They're coming through the cattle, and they're all excited about it. And then as soon as they get there, do you realize what happened to that cattle? It goes to be butchered.
Well,
so
sure.
they take it all in there, and they're all like, oh. So I was like, oh, I forgot that. That was pretty good.
You do know where hamburger comes from, right?
No, they just make that meat. There's no such thing. It's a hamburger meat. There's a machine that makes it. That's all available.
Yeah,
okay.
They grow it in a lab.
That's right. So Pendleton 1910 is a rare 100% rye whiskey distilled in Canada, and it's an oak barrel aged minimum of 12 years. It's 80 proof, $40. And it has a dry finish with a lingering tart cherry taste. It absolutely does have that tart cherry taste. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, no, I'm not really fond of that cherry. The initial taste is pretty good, but that aftertaste, not so much.
They got a lot of taste going on here. I
That-
taste
yeah.
a butterscotch in there.
Yeah,
I
there's
taste
a lot going
There's
on
a
with
lot.
this one.
I mean, it's like a busy. So they decided not to.
Yeah, it's a committee.
It's a committee of everything put together. But man, it's got a bite. And it's only 80 proof, so I would have expected it to have a higher proof with that type of a bite.
I don't know, maybe.
But
I do like the bottle, though.
You do like
the bottle is, I mean, that looks like a 1910.
The 1910, and it's all made in Canada. So there you go. Well, Mike, now that we got our drinks out of the way, we're going to our best segment ever that you love. We call this Protect Yourself
Drink
Today.
yourself today.
Protect yourself today.
Protect yourself
to your stuff.
Yeah, Protect Yourself Today is a 5-minute rundown of the weekly technology breaches or business compromises across the globe. Let's start with story number 1. Apple's security breach allows full control of device without even a password. So we beat up on Apple last week in our phone segment, so we're just allowing...
We're just on the Apple thing.
We're just going to continue to pile on. I couldn't find any Facebook stories for you to dislike, so I decided we're going to go with Apple. So we have a massive security failing by Apple that allowed an attacker to take total remote control of iPhones within a Wi-Fi range. They would be able to download all the data on the phone and even activate the iPhone's camera and microphones to provide real-time spying capabilities.
They Batmaned it.
Yeah, the vulnerability was not just a theoretical risk, it was an actual exploit by Google Project Zero researcher Ian Beer. So this guy's awesome. So he does a lot of security breaches, and if you just Google IANBEER, Ian Beer, you can find a lot of stuff that he's done for compromise. But essentially what he was able to do is he was able to use the phone on somebody's Wi-Fi. So as long as he had access to the Wi-Fi of a person's network, he was able to use Wi-Fi packing and what they call dogging of what they do. So this is what it is. Essentially, the vulnerability allows a physical address of the device. So it's an IP device. All of them have a physical address. And with the Apple Wireless Direct Link, that's AWDL, you could essentially gather information and take an ad hoc peer-to-peer mesh network and control the phone. So that was a lot of technical jargon. So here's essentially...
Tell me what that means, Nathan.
So if you've ever had an iPhone and you go and you play music to a AirDrop or an iPad, HomePad, or an Apple TV, and you broadcast it, that wireless signal that you use to broadcast, and Google has a Chromecast, which they do, so there's all these companies that do this, but specifically is Apple's proprietary mesh networking protocol was not secure.
Mm-hmm.
So what you could do is you could become a man in the middle, which means you'd essentially intercept the device itself, and then you have full control of all Apple devices and PC devices that have an IP address within the environment itself.
Well, that's just awesome.
So what was nice about it, you can watch a YouTube on this. He made sure to make Apple aware of his security breach before he posted the YouTube video explaining everything that goes on. So you can go and take a look and watch the YouTube video at a later time. And you can also go to techtimeradio.com and click on the link of our article so you can find out more information about that. All right, number 2.
Well, the cool thing is, though, is that they fixed it before he...
So he made sure Apple fixed it before he released it to the public.
That's really, I think, is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Because half the time when we do these, or actually 90% of the time when we do these, it's always they already know about it.
And then they never respond.
They haven't fixed it.
Yep.
And then they release some sort of dumb
press release that says, oops, so we didn't know that happened.
Oops, we didn't know. No, but don't worry, you didn't get your information stolen.
Well, it's not that good on story number 2. Story number 2, hacking group uses crypto miners as a distraction technique. So have you ever seen ads that says, hey, download this application and then you can mine Bitcoin or you can mine Litecoin?
I get stuff like that all the time.
Okay, so all that stuff, do not do that, because if you're using an application to download and to generate money, there's probably something wrong with that application. And there's a whole bunch available out there on the internet that people download and they say, oh, look at, I'm making Bitcoin. And yeah, you have to keep your computer on. You have to give access to everything in the software program. And this is what happened here. A hacking group, which Microsoft calls Bismuth, it was used for a crypto mining distraction technique to target government agencies. A private organization in France and Vietnam during July and August, Microsoft research determined was compromised. The use of the miners helped the hacking group establish a presence within the network and enable them to deploy other spy tools and malware without raising suspicion, because the crypto miners are usually low-level security priorities for organizations. So people knew that there was applications running in this network and that they were using crypto mining type of applications, but the IT department was kind of like, and everybody was like, I didn't need to worry about that. We have other things that we need to take more seriously. So crypto miners normally associate themselves not with criminal activity, but essentially come up with the ability to try to mine coin and take CPU processing power from the computer itself. But this one was specifically an attack designed to fool them, kind of as you see in the movies where you have, it looks like a terrorist. If you ever watched Die Hard, right? So it looks like it's a terrorist in the original Die Hard, best Christmas movie ever.
That's right.
And so it essentially, though, all it was a common theft, right? So this is the same thing where the miner software that was running in there was to distract and to cause all this information without having it actually be the item that was going on. Essentially what happened, that's our buzzer, so we'll finish the story. Essentially what happened is they loaded a DLL file, which is a malicious, which is a dynamic link library that was able to have access of the accounts themselves. And what they did is they started loading older versions of virtual machines for Windows 7. So what they did is they loaded Windows 7 in this environment. Then they went into the Windows 7 that didn't have the security features enabled on it and took over the full network.
How about that?
So as they're doing all this stuff, an application loads Windows 7 in the network.
Windows 7 is still haunting us.
So that's right. Windows 7 is, well, it's not as bad as Windows 8. Windows 8 was the worst.
I know.
But essentially, Microsoft continued to take a look at the information. They do know that the tools were used to steal data and additional credentials for this company and are actively making sure to increase the coin mining aspects at another time. So they're making sure that that's a higher level of security. It kind of almost scares me, kind of like the Amazon sidewalk. Have you noticed all that news coming on out about the Amazon sidewalk? If you haven't listened to our episode about the Amazon sidewalk, go back and listen to it because it is all in the news right now, and we told you about this about 2 months ago.
Explain it really quick. What is Amazon sidewalk?
The Amazon sidewalk is the ability to use your Amazon devices to create a mesh network that allows anybody in your neighborhood access to the internet through these Amazon devices. Right. So you give up your own personal internet to the neighborhood for everybody to use. So, all right, that is going to take us into our next commercial break. When we come on back, we are going to be focusing on our IoT and our smart devices for our part 3 segment of the top 5 items for the holiday season. So let's enjoy our commercial break. We'll sip some whiskey on the side, and we'll see you after the break.
Mike, what do you use for that quick jolt of energy?
Why, coffee, of course.
Coffee. You know what? I love coffee. Growing up here in the Pacific Northwest, the coffee capital of the world, I am so bummed because all we have is that big green mermaid monster star, and their coffee always tastes burnt.
Yeah, I didn't actually drink coffee until I moved to Seattle. Now I drink it all the time.
I'm so excited that right now it couldn't be easier to get some great coffee. Check out freelunchcoffee.com. That's freelunchcoffee.com. It's very simple to remember and even simpler to drink. They have a premium grade ground coffee priced at $19.99, and they also have a monthly subscribe and save process that will allow you to get coffee every month. When you buy just one bag of Free Lunch Coffee, you're providing 10 meals to children in need. And Free Lunch Coffee gives away 50% of the money they make to end hunger in the lives of young children. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
Free Lunch Coffee also has some cool custom designed mugs and tumblers. Each mug provides 10 meals, and a tumbler provides 20 meals to a children in need.
Yeah, buy some coffee and feed some kids.
I believe this could be a great Christmas or holiday gift, and this season is about the spirit of giving. You are not just buying gifts for your loved ones, you're also feeding children. When you purchase your coffee from freelunchcoffee.com. What was that, Mike? Where do you go to buy your coffee now?
I tried the coffee from Free Lunch Coffee, and it's very robust and delicious.
Delicious. This season is about the spirit of giving. You're not just buying gifts for the loved ones, but you're also feeding the children. Free Lunch Coffee has great coffee that is specialty grade, certified organic, and fair trade. Also, they offer a 100% money-back guarantee for 30 days. That's right. If you don't love their products, they will give you a full refund, so you have nothing to lose. And besides that, I guarantee you, after tasting this coffee, you're not going to be looking to return it, but you're going to be trying to figure out how they can do a order every week instead of every month. At Free Lunch Coffee, they're offering us at TechTime Radio a special 10% discount. That's right. If you use the code TechTime at checkout, you'll receive 10% off your order. Now check it out, freelunchcoffee.com. In the Seattle market, this is a local company straight out of Bellevue, so we need to show them some love. And check out freelunchcoffee.com. Again, that's freelunchcoffee.com. Switch your coffee purchasing to freelunchcoffee.com.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service and the brand names you know and trust, such as
Steel,
Scott's,
Miracle-Gro,
Toro,
DeWalt,
Milwaukee,
Yeti,
Traeger,
Weber,
Big Green Egg,
Clark and Kensington Paint,
Magnolia Paint by Joanna Gaines,
Benjamin Moore Paint,
Duracell Automotive Keys,
and many, many more.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, Evergreen Way in Everett, and now Stanwood.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here, and we are getting into our main segment, and we call this Technology Insider.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, so most important aspect is I'm going to have everybody understand what IoT means.
Yes, you gotta make sure.
So IoT is described as the network of physical objects or things that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices over the internet.
Like Bluetooth.
So that is correct. So in the consumer market, IoT devices are normally called smart things. All right, so you have a smart home device, you have appliances such as lighting fixtures that are smart plugs, you have smart thermostats, smart security systems, smartphones, and smart speakers. So all of it normally puts that smart in front of it, which means it's an IoT device, which really an IoT device is an unregulated and unmanaged device that has access to the internet.
So it's really not that smart.
So it's not that smart and it's not that safe. So you're relying upon whoever built the smart things device to make sure that they have security so that your house is not compromised or your business is not compromised or your manufacturing plant isn't compromised. That is correct. Now, I have smart things all over my whole house. And so I'm going to be talking about our Technology Insider. We're talking about smart things for the holidays. And all of these devices I'm talking about, I have.
All right.
So I have firsthand knowledge
on
all this information, but these are the top items for the holidays. Number one, the Roku streaming stick. Have you ever seen a Roku streaming stick?
No, tell me about that.
All right, the Roku is the gift that keeps on giving. It's that little National Lampoon's gift there. All right, the Roku Streaming Stick Plus is the best affordable streaming device on the market. We've tested tons, and our favorite device for getting a full-featured, 4K HDR experience includes having a Roku streaming device. Now, I had the very first Roku device that ever came out, Roku version 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic. You could stream some stuff, and really you could plug in a USB card into the device and then stream stuff on your television. So it was fantastic. You'd download stuff, and you'd have the ability to play that. Roku has continued to be the leading industry for streaming out. Amazon makes a bunch of devices that stream to the internet. There's tons of other companies that do also. But Roku has the simplest interface, the easiest streaming ability, and what they do is they make sure it comes through at 4K. So if you're looking for a device right now, you can find it with a 4.5 stars out of 44,000 ratings on Amazon for $47.97 this morning. So go and take a look. That is called the Roku Streaming Stick Plus to get all your 4K needs. So that's a streaming device. That's an IoT device. It allows you to watch Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, so you can see all the new movies, all available from that stick.
From Warner Brothers.
From Warner Brothers, that's right, as we talked about. Now, the number 2 IoT device for the holidays is called the Echo Show. And we're going to talk about the Echo Show 8, which is the new device. So there's an Echo Show. It is essentially a device kind of like a Dot from Amazon.
Yeah, I like my Dot.
So you like your Amazon Dot?
Yeah.
And that's really nice. I ask, literally, we watch movies, like we were watching Billy Crystal's movies last night, right? So we were watching, and I was asking about actors' ages. I was asking who did this, what about this producer, and so I ask it in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, Alexa is my current significant other.
Is your significant other? She's amazing too, and she gets smarter and smarter.
She's smart.
So the Echo Show allows you to essentially have a mini screen, and you can have this device integrated to your Outlook calendar. So it can show devices on there. You can use it with your Blink camera devices from Amazon.
Really?
So all of my cameras we have Blink across my whole property.
Yeah.
And you've been on, we've been on calls.
Yeah, I've been on calls when your thing goes off. Warning.
It says all of a sudden, attention at the backyard, attention at the garage. And so it does alert warnings. And with the Echo Show, I can even watch the cameras on the screen itself. So I'd say, hey, turn on... I say, Alexa, turn on garage camera, and boom, the camera automatically comes on. It also does video conferencing features and allows you to play some great music that's available. So this is available right now at $50 off. You would think the Echo Show 8 would be available on Amazon at the best price, but you would be wrong.
No.
The best price is at Best Buy. $50 off. $79.99 right now.
I know what I'm getting.
All right, continuing on with our Internet of Things devices, we're going to be talking about the Ember Metallic Collection Temperature Control Mugs. Have you heard about this?
No.
This is awesome.
Tell me about it.
All right,
like
so
coffee.
have you ever wanted to have the perfect drink at the specific degrees? Maybe you wanted to have it at 135 degrees, which is 57 degrees Celsius. And I just want to make sure anybody listening. Okay. And adjust it from there with the technology of the Ember mug. You can essentially have your mug temperature controlled throughout the day.
So I can turn it way up and then sue them later when I burn myself.
No, that's only McDonald's when you go through the drive-thru. No. So it has a long-lasting battery. Essentially, it sits on its own coaster.
Mm-hmm.
But when you remove it from the coaster, it will still maintain the temperature of the degrees itself. So what happens is I take out coffee to my office outside, and then I have to come back in and put it in the microwave and nuke it, and then go back outside and put it in the microwave and nuke it. You don't have to do that. You get the Ember device, and you can essentially have your temperature throughout the whole day.
Is it bad that I just let my coffee get room temperature and still drink it?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Is it bad?
Yeah, you need to have it a little bit warm. That's from an Arizona guy, so okay. So this device is $100 or $129. All you got to do is go and search for Ember, E-M-B-E-R. They sell it directly online. They also have a travel mug. So if you want a larger size travel mug, it's $179, but it'll keep your temperature all day long for your.
How many ounces is that?
Well, the standard cup, I don't know whatever a traveler mug is. What's a traveler mug? Is that 16 ounces? 20 ounces?
I don't know. It's not enough.
No.
I know it's never enough.
It's never enough. Well, you can get the traveler mug for $179. You can keep it at 135 degrees, and your coffee's always warm all day long. All right, our next IoT device. It's called the Tile Pro. Have you heard about the Tile Pro?
I heard about the Tile.
So the Tile is the only thing that saves my life when I lose my keys at home, because it is a device I have it. I can show you.
How do you lose your keys at home?
Because I get stuck in the, you're sitting on down and you lose your wallet or you lose your keys.
I don't lose anything.
You don't lose anything. So let me just I'll show you right here. This specific device, the camera can take a look at it right there.
Oh, look at that.
That's a Tile device. And so that's the device that we're talking about right there, the Tile. And essentially it is the Tile Pro. And what it does is it loads an app on your phone. I don't ever lose my phone. I just lose my wallet and my keys.
That's going to really be a tragedy when you lose your phone.
Then I'll be in trouble. Well, guess what happens? If I lose my phone, I can use my Tile device and it'll find the phone.
Well,
if I have one in the Tile device. Or if I lose my devices, I can always ping it on a little Tile device and it goes ding, and then I can find it anywhere in the house. Or
that's pretty bad.
Or if you want to make a little game out of it, you just put it outside and then you have to go and it tells you single stronger. It's kind of like the hot and cold. You ever play that as a kid?
Yeah.
You're hotter. It tells you the same thing until you get to your device.
You must have a lot of fun at Easter.
Just hire a bunch
your wallet.
Tile device. The Tile Pro is $32. And you have a battery replacement, so you can make sure the first ones that came out, you couldn't replace the batteries, so people would actually break into them and then try to replace the batteries. Now you can replace the batteries. Fantastic IoT device. All right, our next thing we're going to talk about is the iRobot Roomba. Have you used a Roomba before?
I have not.
Oh,
but I certainly like videos of
the cats on them?
Of Roombas with dogs.
Oh, so the worst thing about a Roomba device is that it may sweep up the dog poop or throw up if that happens. But not with the new version. The new i7, the 7550 version, has the ability to clean up and store the information for up to 60 days with airlock bags. So it's a brand new device. It's $599. It's a sale right now, $200 off until the 19th. It has a smart sense sensor that will allow you to now choose rooms that you do not want it to go into. So if you have the dog's room in the back area and you don't want it to go into the dog's area, you can actually come with your complete control cleaning system on your app. You can say that room is no longer available
That's never the fun video.
That's never the fun?
That's never the fun video.
So we have two of these. So we have two Roombas. We have one for upstairs and one for downstairs. And this is the best thing ever. This is at the middle of the night, except for if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you start hearing something downstairs. Like, somebody breaking into our house? No, it's just a Roomba going. It goes in the walls. It's mesmerizing. Not as good as your mesmerizing moment, but it's mesmerizing.
Nothing is as good as my mesmerizing moments.
And our last thing that we're going to talk about here for our devices is a unique item, not quite an IoT device, but I found it in the IoT sections when we're looking to do all of our reviews. I do not have one of these yet.
Not until next week.
I think I had one on order today.
Yeah, I bet.
It's called.
Good thing your wife doesn't watch the program.
That's right. All right. So that's exactly correct. So we have the Epos GX300 external sound card. So do you remember back in the old days when you had a computer, you'd buy
the Sound Blaster,
and you had the Ad Lib, or if you're really, really cool, which I wasn't, you had the Roland MT32 module that would play like keyboard MIDI sounds. Mm-hmm. And essentially, what this Epos, it takes the ability of actually processing 7-in-1 sound into your computer itself. It does not work for PlayStation, any game devices, but essentially a lot of computers nowadays come with cheap sound cards. Mm-hmm. They don't spend a lot of time. If you buy this device itself, you plug it into your USB port, you can essentially get 2-in-1 sound automatically through this hardware sound card or 7-in-1 sound.
Wow.
This is like the hottest thing right now on gaming sites. It just came out a couple months ago. The prices vary from $69 to $89. There's limited stock, but it's called the Epos GX300 EPOS GSX300 external sound card. So there you go. You need to get one of those for the holidays.
Yeah. That's just one more thing to dangle out of my computer slots.
So now we talked about all of the great IoT devices, which were smart devices for your holiday shopping list. And they weren't that expensive. So you can get a Tile app. You can get a sound card, and the vacuum's a little bit more expensive.
I'm gonna get the Alexa thing.
You're gonna get the Echo Show.
Echo Show.
Then me and you can both talk to each other since I have one in my office, and we can both talk to each other through that while we still work on our computers. So we can be even less engaged to each other.
Yeah,
so we can just be
awesome.
like, "How you doing, Mike?" "Oh, just fine." "Okay."
Let's do a three-way Zoom meeting with our Echoes.
All right. So now when we come on back, we are going to have my favorite segment, Gadgets and Gear, and we got another IoT device, which is probably also a Kickstarter item that I got for my wife. Thank goodness she's not listening. And we're going to be talking about that after our break. So we'll go to a commercial break, and we can have some whiskey.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data, right at your fingertips, brought to you by Vivomi's new Pulse wearable. And with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. Whether you are exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or relaxing at home, check your EKG as simply as opening an app. The Pulse, a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
Hey Mike, do you ever remember those commercials growing up in the 80s where they'd always have that Folgers coffee in the morning?
Oh yeah, Folgers in your cup.
Yes, they used to have that Folgers in your cup. I got a better idea.
Let's put free lunch in your cup.
That's right, put free lunch in your cup instead of Folgers in your cup with the 100% organic, certified, free trade. They offer a 100% money-back guarantee at freelunchcoffee.com. Again, use the 10% discount code to try it out with TechTime at the coupon code for checkout, and you will be able to get your free lunch coffee started, and I guarantee you're going to come back month after month after month. Switch your coffee purchasing to freelunchcoffee.com.
I feel like we're forgetting something.
Let me check. Xfinity Home gives you peace of mind from anywhere with professionally monitored home security built around you.
No, I think we're good.
Good.
So when you're away, you don't have to worry.
The tent. We forgot the tent.
Except about that. Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome.
Hey, look, I found the tent.
Get Xfinity Home with no term contract required. Call or click today.
All right, welcome back to TechTime Radio. How are you doing?
Pretty good, but you got busted.
I got busted? How'd I get busted?
Your wife texted, said she is watching. You're in trouble.
She did. Now she knows what.
Hi, Tracy.
So now we're going to have to see if she likes this next segment because she may be getting this for her next birthday gift. All right, but before we go into that, we are drinking, of course, the Pendleton's 119 rare 100% whiskey rye distilled in Canada. It's oak barrel aged a minimum of 12 years. And what are you thinking about this now that you've had a second shot?
You know, I like it.
You like it?
I like the first part of it. The second part I'm not very fond.
It's getting a little bit better with the air though. As it's aerating, it's
yeah.
not coming back with that real cherry tart type of deal.
I don't really like the coffee syrupy aftertaste.
It doesn't. But you know what? You got free lunch in your cup, right?
I got free lunch in my cup.
That's right. Okay.
The best part of
waking up
is free lunch in my cup.
Do you know how tough that was to find those old commercial sounds for that Folger stuff?
I don't know.
I spent hours. I know. I'm going to do that. It's a total violation probably. It's been so long. Hopefully they get okay. All right. So we are going to move right next into my favorite segment that costs me the most money. And we call this Gadgets and Gear.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, sticking with the IoT device, we have an awesome device that's available here. So this is called the Bird Buddy.
The Bird Buddy.
The Bird Buddy. It is a smart-enabled bird feeder device. So it has been on Kickstarter, which is where it's posted, for only 10 days. And
only
it is
10 days.
And it is completely funded. So
I believe that.
So $60,000 is what they were looking for. They have over $1,665,000 pledged for this. So $1 million. They needed $60,000. There's 8,529 backers, and there's 40 days to go to still get this bird type of deal. And when we talk about it, it's going to be very interesting. So hopefully the wife is not listening now because maybe this
She totally is. You're in trouble.
I'm in trouble. Okay, so here's what we got. We got the Bird Buddy Smart Bird Feeder. So it is essentially think of a Ring camera.
As if spying on your neighbors was not enough.
So this is what I was thinking when I was reading this whole article. Is I could actually then essentially have this bird feeder flipped at my neighbor's
pointing
house.
at your neighbor's house.
And then I could be in trouble for leering, and I could just videotape everything that needs to go. But that's not what the purpose of this is for. This is essentially a bird feeder that has a built-in camera that enables live feeds so that you can actually take a look at the birds when they come to eat from your bird feeder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we put out bird feeders all the time, and I think maybe I'm lucky if I see one bird, maybe two birds during the whole time of all those seeds that we put on out there.
Do you actually go out and wait for birds? Are you a bird watcher?
I'm not a bird watcher, but I enjoy watching birds and hummingbirds in different areas that they're coming into, and we have big bay windows in our downstairs area, and so I like looking outside of that. My wife will normally hang something into that area, and the birds will come in and out. So I do enjoy this. But listen to this smart bird feeder, which is really unique. This smart bird feeder allows you to be notified when you have a feathered guest visit. So it's got an alert system. It takes their photo. It then will videotape the time that it's available there and alert you in the app that there is a bird that's on your location. So that's that's what you'd expect, right? Out of a camera-based bird feeder, you expect that?
No.
No? Well, it gets even better.
Okay. Tell me more.
So if you ever like Pokemon, have you ever played that Pokemon game, and you collect everything? Well, guess what this does? This essentially has a database of all the birds that are known. And when the bird actually comes and sits on down and starts using the bird feeder, it takes a profile shot and gives you a badge of that bird that was at your feeder itself.
That's kind of cool.
So it is really kind of cool. Once you start reading more about this is like, dang, this is a pretty cool idea. So it gives you a badge, and then if you decide to share out your bird feeder, which you can through their app so that anybody could have access to it, then that means somebody from like Africa could come on and take a look in my backyard, and we have a lot of birds in our backyard, and see the birds when they land and also see which birds I collected. So if you had one of these over in Africa, we have friends in Africa that own a safari company. And I'm like, I could send one to them. They could put it out on their savanna, and then we could be alerted to when birds come on in there and decide to land. And then I could make my checklist of all my birds even bigger for my list that are available.
Okay.
So it has a built-in microphone. The Bird Buddy doesn't even need to see the bird. It already knows the bird when it approaches because it uses their communication signal by sound to identify the bird. So a lot of birds can have different head shots, different areas when they land, but essentially they have a full database that they have spent with Cambridge to actually look and see all of the different sounds that the birds make.
That's cool. I'm not a bird watcher, so having this around is not something I would have.
But see, now it kind of gets interesting, doesn't it?
But the fact that they have all this database information, I really love that stuff.
And so then you can go through, and after your bird eats and feeds on your feeder, you can actually find out more information about the bird itself. So it's linked to more data.
That is cool.
So you could say, we had a blue jay that landed here. The blue jay is a blah, 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 blah. We have some blue. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is
me taking spy videos of birds eating out of my bird feeder. Nah, not so much, but
finding the information.
That's awesome.
So it has let me tell you the camera that it has built into it. So it has 128 degrees views. It have 5 megapixel and a 720p HD video stream. So you could watch the video stream of that as it goes on. So
instead of going on vacation now, I can invite my friends to watch my bird shots.
That's correct. And they may have gotten an additional backer this morning. So we'll see what happens. All right, so that takes us through our gadgets and gear. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come on back, we got Mike's mesmerizing moments, we got some whiskey reviews, and a bunch of little information to end our show.
Yeah.
Skip and Sharon, hosts of the Psychic Spectrum radio show, are a prominent psychic couple. Besides hosting an exciting weekly radio show, they offer fans the Psychic Showcase and a fascinating speakers bureau. And their Talking to the Other Side events are not to be missed. Join their live events and even schedule a private psychic reading. Get started at psychicspectrum.com. That's psychicspectrum.com.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanwood.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, welcome back to TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
Did you guys get your Christmas gifts?
I got my jacket. Yeah.
You got your
that
Christmas
cool?
gift? Did you notice that on your jacket it says the show that makes you go,
I'm going to walk around going,
So people are going to come up to you and say, but you notice I kind of did it in a subtle color, so you have to be pretty close. So if you're far away, no one's going to ask you what the show that makes you go, So you won't get in trouble
Okay.
there. Well, welcome back to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here. We got David Brown behind the board taking care of everything.
He's got his jacket on, too.
He's got it. Of course. We take care of everybody here.
Where's your jacket?
I got my jacket at home. So I already showed you. We had a meeting,
I know.
Our pre-meeting deal, and I couldn't keep a secret. So I showed Mike what he was getting, and I said, you have to keep it a secret until we get to the show.
Right.
But right now is a great time to remind people to sign up to win a monthly drawing for the Pulse device. So make sure you go and take a look at the portable EKG machine by going to techtimeradio.com, putting in your email address. That's all we ask, not for your name or any information, but you will be entered to win our $299 device that Vovomi has nicely got taken care of. Well, now this is the highlight of the whole segment. We haven't had this on for a while, but we are going to be going to our Mike's mesmerizing moments. This is Mike's mesmerizing moment. You're up.
Yeah, so we were talking about the movie theaters earlier. It's interesting today because I was out on a date with a lady who was asking me what I miss about COVID.
Yep.
And I was like, movie theaters.
It is.
And she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And so we talked a little bit about that. I don't think that movie theaters are going to be wiped out because of this whole Warner Brothers thing and things like that, because movie theaters give us something that none of these other things do.
Which is?
Shared human experience.
That's true.
You see, we go to these places and we're together, and even introverts do this, but we have a shared experience with these movies. We go in there and we enjoy the energy that the crowd gives us.
Yeah.
As we are watching this movie together. So I think that's what the edge is for the movie theaters not going away.
I hope not.
I
remember as a kid lining up for Back to the Future too. Right?
Yeah.
And so me and my buddy went on down. We rode our bikes down to the Marysville Twin Cinemas. They only had 2 theaters. And we essentially bought tickets 3 or 4 days early. And we waited in a line that wrapped around the building. And we're all sitting out there with the fans. We're engaging. We were dumb enough that we didn't get there early enough. And so essentially we were like looking up at the nostrils of everybody in the front row of the theater. But there was nothing like that experience for all of us to be there.
Right. So I think from a human behavior standpoint, that is the edge that theaters have over all these streaming services. I mean, I like having to be able to get these movies into my house when they release, but I really enjoy going to watch it in a movie theater, not because of the big screen, not because of the noise, but also because of the shared experience that you have with the crowd.
I hope theaters don't go away either, but I do think the home theater market's going to be big.
Yeah,
I do. All right, so now our music's playing. We almost got to the...
We almost did.
We almost got through the thing, but David made a bet. You know what? If he bets us $1 every show that we don't end on time, we'd probably get in trouble, I tell you that. So we have the Pendleton 1910. It has a very distinct whiskey taste. It's got some bitters afterwards. Now it comes to the thumbs up or thumbs down. What do you think about the whiskey?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I'm not really fond of the weird cough syrupy aftertaste, but the front flavor is really good and the bite is okay. So
I do like the nutmeg taste that's in there and some cloves and a little bit. I am going to, with the air, I'm also, which is a surprise because our original Pendletons, we both gave it a thumbs down, but I'm also going to give it a thumbs up. All right. So that is going to end our show for today. We appreciate you guys for listening. Again, always check out facts and information at techtimeradio.com. For Nathan Mumm and Mike O'Day and David Brown, we wish you guys all a safe and happy holidays.
Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and